Hey fam, welcome back to African Reads Comics. I'm your host, and today I'm diving headfirst into a steaming pile of green garbage to explain why Green Arrow, yes, that guy, is the worst superhero to ever grace the pages of a comic book. Buckle up, because this is going to be a sarcastic, wide, controversial, and downright hilarious ride through the trash heap that is Oliver Queen. Let's tear this emerald fraud apart, piece by pathetic piece. Let's start with the basics. His name, Green Arrow. That's it. That's the best DC could come up with. It's like they held a brainstorming session, got bored after 5 seconds and said, hey, just slap green on it and call it a day. I mean, even his sidekick, Speedy, got a cooler name, and that's saying something because Speedy sounds like a rejected energy drink mascot. Meanwhile, Oliver Queen, that's not a superhero name. That's the guy who gets killed off in the first episode of a soap opera because he's too boring to keep around. Tune in next week as Oliver Queen discovers his evil twin stole his trust fund. Yawn. Compare that to, say, Batman, mysterious, dark, evocative, or Spider-Man, nimble, creepy, cool. Green Arrow sounds like a discount paint swatch at Home Depot. Honey, should we paint the kitchen Green Arrow or forest failure? It's lazy, it's uninspired, and it's the first red flag that this guy is a total clown. Now let's talk about his outfit because, oh my god, where do I even start? Green hood, green tunic, green mask, green tights. Did this dude raid Robin Hood's laundry basket and call it a day? He's out here looking like he's auditioning for a community theatre production of Sherwood Forest, the musical. And that hood, supposedly, he's a master archer, so why does he need something flapping over half his face? Is he hiding his identity or just a tragic haircut? I'm betting on the latter. Then there's the little green boots. They look like something you'd wear to a Renaissance fair while juggling apples and reciting bad poetry. This is a guy who's supposed to fight crime in the mean streets of Star City, not prance around Nottingham Forest handing out turkey legs. And don't get me started on the mask. It's like he saw Batman's cowl, said, I can do that, and ended up with a Party City knockoff that screams budget coats. Imagine Batman rolling up in the Batmobile, all sleek and menacing, and then here comes Green Arrow, pedaling in on a unicycle, wearing tights and a feathered cap. It's not heroic. Is a fashion felony. Okay, let's get to the meat of it. His so-called skills. Green Arrow's big claim to fame is that he's an expert archer. Cool, I guess, if you're living in the 12th century. But this dude's running around in a universe with Superman who can punch planets out of orbit, and Wonder Woman who's deflecting bullets with her bracelets like it's a casual Tuesday. And Green Arrow's over here like, hold up, I've got a bow and arrow. Bro, you brought a stick and string to a cosmic gunfight. Sure, he's got those trick arrows, boxing glove arrows, net arrows, explosive arrows. Sounds neat until you realize how dumb they are. A boxing glove arrow, who greenlit that? Was he like, I need to punch this guy, but from 50 feet away, and also I want it to look ridiculous. It's like he's trying to be Batman with his fancy gadgets, but forgot the part where Batman's stuff actually makes sense. What's next? A hug arrow to comfort his enemies into submission. In a world where villains can rewrite reality or shoot lasers from their eyeballs, Green Arrow's out here playing Hunger Games cosplay. It's not impressive, it's embarrassing. Imagine Thanos snapping his fingers and Green Arrow's like, not so fast. I've got an arrow with a tiny umbrella on it. Yeah, good luck with that, buddy. Now let's talk about Oliver Queen, the man behind the mask, or I guess the hood. He's supposed to be this billionaire playboy turned gritty hero, but all I see is a whiny, entitled jerk who never stops complaining. His love life's a mess. Boo-hoo. His city's corrupt. Cry me a river. His family's dramatic. Join the club, Ollie. This guy's got more personal baggage than a baggage claim at JFK, and he's always unloading it on everyone else. And that whole I'm a socially conscious liberal hero thing is got going on. Please, it's so forced it hurts. He's out here preaching about justice and equality while living in a mansion with a butler and a private jet. Oh, I'm here to save the little guy with my trust fund and my trick arrows. It's not heroic, it's patronizing. Imagine Batman brooding about Gotham's underbelly. That's raw. Green Arrow whining about Star City's taxes. That's just a rich guy with too much time on his hands. He's like that friend who won't stop posting political rants on Instagram, but never actually does anything useful. Hashtag justice, hashtag save the world, hashtag look at my abs. Shut up, Oliver. Every great hero needs great villains, right? Batman's got the Joker, Superman's got Lex Luthor, Spider-Man's got the Green Goblin. Green Arrow is got Merlin. Who's that, you ask? Exactly. Merlin's just evil Green Arrow with a worse haircut. Then there's Count Vertigo, whose power is making people dizzy. Ooh, spooky. Did he train at a carnival ride or something? And don't even get me started on Onomatopoeia. Yes, that's a real villain. His power, making sound effects. He shoots a gun and goes bang. He punches someone and yells pow. I'm not making this up. It's like fighting a kid who just discovered comic books and won't stop narrating his own life. Onomatopoeia strikes again. Crash. Bro, sit down. Compare that to the Joker poisoning an entire city or Lex Luthor building a death ray. Green Arrow's villains are the dollar store knockoffs of supervillains. They're not threatening, they're a punchline. Speaking of punchlines, let's talk about Green Arrow's love life because it's a train wreck in green tights. His on again, off again thing with Black Canary is the stuff of bad reality TV. They fight, they break up, they get back together. Rinse, repeat. It's exhausting. And this dude's cheated on her how many times? Real classy, Ollie. Nothing says hero like breaking the heart of one of the coolest women in the DC universe. Then there's his son, Connor Hawke. Oh, you didn't know he had a kid? Neither did Oliver apparently because he barely acknowledges the guy. Connor's out here trying to be the next Green Arrow, and Oliver's like, sorry kid, I'm too busy brooding in my mansion. Father of the year, right there. This guy's personal life is such a mess. He makes Tony Stark look like a relationship guru. At least Tony owns his chaos. Green Arrow just sulks about it. Green Arrow's whole deal is that he's a modern Robin Hood, stealing from the rich and giving to the poor. Noble, right? Except he's a billionaire who lives in a mansion, has a butler, and owns a freaking company. How relatable is that? Hey, struggling citizens of Star City, I feel your pain from my penthouse suite. His champion of the little guy arc feels less like heroism and more like a rich dude's midlife crisis. Imagine Batman giving up the Batcave to live among Gotham's homeless. That's great. Green Arrow's out here shooting arrows at CEOs while sipping champagne later that night. It's not Robin Hood. It's a trust fund kid playing dress up with a bow. Let's talk about his time with the Justice League. Because it's a joke. This guy's supposed to be one of the big guns, but he's always the first one knocked out or needing a rescue. Superman's fighting Darkseid. Wonder Woman's taking on an army. And Green Arrow's over here like, oof, a tug hit me with a brick. Better sit this one out. He's less a teammate and more a liability. It's like he's only there to make everyone else look cooler. Oh no, Green Arrow's down. Guess it's up to the real heroes to save the day. Even his banter with Green Lantern, which some fans love, is just Hal Jordan babysitting a grown man who won't stop whining. How? The world's unfair. Yeah, Ollie, that's why I've got a power ring and you've got a stick. Let's zoom out and look at his legacy. What's Green Arrow actually accomplished? Has he saved the world? Stopped a major villain? Inspired anyone? Nah. He's a background character in the DC universe. A guy who shows up to fill panel space while Batman and Superman do the heavy lifting. Even his city, Star City, is a B-list knockoff of Gotham or Metropolis. His proteges, Speedy became a drug addict, then Arsenal, who had his own mess. Connor Hawke took over as Green Arrow for a bit, but even he couldn't make the role exciting. Oliver's legacy is a trail of dysfunction and mediocrity. Meanwhile, Batman's got a whole Bat family carrying the torch. Green Arrow's got a quiver of regrets. In other media, it's no better. The Arrow TV show tried to make him dark and gritty, but it just felt like a Batman ripoff with extra brooding. In the Justice League cartoons, he's comic relief, not a hero. And in the comics, he's either sidelined or the butt of jokes. Even his death in the 90s, blown up in a plane, was undone with some convoluted clone nonsense because no one cared enough to keep him dead. Compare that to Hawkeye from Marvel, another Archer who's funnier, more relatable, and doesn't take himself too seriously. Green Arrow wishes he had that kind of charm. So there you have it, folks. Green Arrow is the worst hero ever because he's unoriginal, impractical, whiny, and useless. His costume's a joke, his villains are laughable, and his personality grates like nails on a chalkboard. He's a poor man's Batman with a bow, and he doesn't even do that well. If you want a hero to root for, pick literally anyone else. Superman, Wonder Woman, hell, even Aquaman's got more going for him. This has been African Reads Comics, tearing into the emerald disaster that is Green Arrow. Hit that like button if you agree, subscribe for more rants, and let me know in the comments who you think is worse than this guy, though I doubt you'll find anyone. Peace out, fam. I need to go bleach my eyes after staring at that costume too long.